The man had a gun pointed at my wife's face, hands trembling, eyes bulging with self-importance, right there in our front yard, and all because she jogged past the HOA clubhouse without identification. Before we jump in, drop a comment. With the country you're reading from, let's see how far this wild tale travels. What this guy didn't know, and oh, I'd have paid good money to see it click in his brain, was that the woman he was threatening with a cheap knockoff Glock was an active Delta Force operative, fresh off a classified mission just 2 days prior. She hadn't even unpacked her gear, and now she's staring down a wannabe security guard holding his pistol sideways like he's auditioning for a low-budget action flick. I knew she could have disarmed him with a twig and a rubber band, but for once, she gave him a chance to back off. Spoiler, he didn't. That's when things got real fast. We moved to this neighborhood chasing peace. My wife, Lena, who once diffused a bomb in a freaking thunderstorm, just wanted quiet mornings, a garden, and maybe some chickens clucking in the backyard. Me? I'm Jake, and I just wanted fast Wi-Fi and a basement for my cybersecurity gigs. But instead, we landed in an HOA that ran the place like a budget militia. They called it the Community Protection Unit, CPU for short. Picture 4, matte black golf carts parked outside their clubhouse. Block letters stenciled on the sides, some with blue lights duct taped to the roofs. SWAT vibes, but with cup holders and tacky squirrel decals. I thought it was a prank at first. Nope, they were dead serious. On day 1, the HOA president, Susan Caldwell, rolled up with laminated badges and 3 clipboards, sporting a smile that screamed, "I've never been told no." She handed us a rule book with gems like, grass must not exceed 2.75 inches, and residents must not appear threatening during leisure activities. When I asked what threatening meant, she smirked and said, "You'll figure it out." That's when I knew we were in for it. Lena just nodded politely, like she hadn't just come back from rescuing hostages overseas. She's a pro at blending in, staying cool as ice. Day 8, that calm shattered. Lena went for her usual jog while I brewed coffee and logged into work. 10 minutes later, my security cams pinged. I thought it was a delivery truck, but nope. 2 CPU golf carts were parked diagonally across our street, and Lena stood there, hands slightly up, cool as ever. In front of her, a guy, maybe 50, beer guts spilling out of a tactical vest, pointing, a pistol at her chest, yelling about restricted jogging zones. That's when it hit me. These weren't neighbors fussing over lawn height. These were armed cosplayers who thought they were untouchable. Lena? She wasn't having it. The guy, let's call him Gary, kept barking orders, trying to channel every cop show he'd ever binged. "Hands higher! You're trespassing in a restricted zone." His voice cracked, giving away how out of his depth he was. Lena didn't even blink. She tilted her head like she was bored at a debriefing and said, calm as a sunny day, "Sir, under Florida Statute 790.10, brandishing a firearm in a threatening manner is a felony. Think hard about your next move." Gary blinked, stunned. Nobody had ever clapped back with actual authority. "Don't quote laws at me," he stammered. "This is CPU jurisdiction." Lena laughed. "The CPU doesn't outrank the Constitution, buddy," she said, voice steady as steel. "You've got an unregistered weapon pointed at a civilian on private property. That's attempted assault with a deadly weapon. If you're loving this HOA drama, smash that like button and subscribe. Things are about to get wilder." 2 other guys in discount tactical vests flanked Gary, gripping batons like they snagged them at a yard sale. They shifted nervously, clearly wondering if they should back him or bail. That's when I stepped out, coffee mug in hand. "Gentlemen," I said, "last chance to walk away before this goes south." Gary snapped at me. "Stay out of this, sir. This is an official CPU operation." Lena smirked. "Official?" she asked. Then, in one fluid move, she struck. I've seen her train and seen her drop guys twice her size faster than I can sneeze. But watching it go down in our yard, next level. She sidestepped, grabbed Gary's wrist, twisted, and boom, the gun skidded across the pavement. With Her free hand, she shoved him back into one of his pals, sending both sprawling into the grass. The third guy, either braver or dumber, charged with his baton raised. Lena ducked, swept his legs, and had him pinned with a knee on his back in seconds. She didn't even sweat. Gary clutched his wrist, whining. "You broke it!" Lena crouched down, face close. "Nah," she said softly. "If I broke it, you wouldn't be holding it. That was a warning." Neighbors were already peeking out, phones recording every second. One lady gasped. Another muttered, "Is that Susan's crew?" Right on cue, Susan stormed over, visor on, clipboard flapping, shrieking, "Arrest her! She assaulted!" "My officers!" Lena stood, dusting her hands, and locked eyes with her. "Your officers?" she said. "Lady, they're about to be inmates." Cue the real cops. Sirens wailed, and 2 sheriff's cruisers rolled up, lights flashing, scattering the nosy crowd. Deputies hopped out, hands on belts, sizing up the mess. 3 wannabe tough guys sprawled on my lawn, one whining, one pinned under Lena's knee. "Drop the weapons," a deputy barked. "Already done," I said, nodding at the pistol 10 feet away. Lena stepped back, cool as ever, her Delta training shining. Susan charged forward, waving her clipboard like a shield. "Officers, arrest that woman. She attacked my hired security." The deputy raised an eyebrow. "Hired security?" "Ma'am, these guys are impersonating law enforcement. You know that's a felony under 18 U.S. Code, right?" One of Gary's buddies started spilling. "It wasn't my idea. Susan paid us. She said it was legal." That shut Susan up fast. The deputies cuffed all 3, rattling off charges, brandishing a firearm, impersonating an officer, attempted assault, conspiracy, and trespassing. Susan tried to slip away, but a deputy grabbed her arm. "Not so fast. You're under arrest for solicitation to commit assault, conspiracy, and aiding impersonation." Susan's face went tomato red. "This is harassment! I'm the HOA president!" she screeched. The deputy just shook his head. "Lady, you're done!" The crowd gasped. Some cheered. I crossed my arms, grinning. "Should have stuck to passive-aggressive notes, Susan." Lena grabbed my coffee mug from the porch and handed it to me like it was just another Tuesday. "Told you it'd be quick," she said with a wink. The fallout? Pure gold. The HOA held an emergency meeting, and within a week, Susan was ousted as president. With felony charges, fines, and half the neighborhood suing her for endangering everyone, she was toast. The hired goons? Denied bail, staring down years in lockup. The HOA's rep was trashed. Nobody wanted to touch leadership with a 10-foot pole. Neighbors stopped by, shaking Lena's hand, eyes wide with awe. Some knew she'd served, but active Delta Force? Mind blown. That evening, I kicked back on the porch, the sun setting. "Think they'll try again?" I asked. Lena sipped her tea, smirking. "If they're dumb enough, I'm ready." And trust me, the whole neighborhood knew. The HOA had messed with the wrong family. From that day, they learned one brutal truth: don't bring a golf cart to a Delta Force fight.